1, 2. Okay, now that we've sorted out the technical issues, it's once again there. Hello, welcome. What's involved it is. It's the place where I talk about my challenges, things that are happening in my life, and autoimmune disease, etc., etc. Now, I released an episode on Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. And I'm still trying to figure out how to get what I believe the interesting part into sort of some form of short so that you can get it. But the long story short there is that my little Staffy shadow came to say good morning, and I was saying, come here and maybe you want to be on the channel, etc., etc. There was a cup of coffee next to my desk. You can see I haven't learned very much. And she then got all excited, as Staffies do, and decided to jump up and say hi. And she smashed that cup of coffee and it went all over my laptop, all over the keyboard, all over everything. The camera fell over. I immediately whilst recording, and tipped it upside down and did my best to, mop it up and dry it up. You'll be amazed where coffee can get. Anyway, as I was now then eventually cleaned everything up and trying to finish the podcast, what happened is the backlights on my little MacBook, one by one, they started to blink out. And well, let's just say it caused a problem. So immediately on Tuesday, we rushed it off to the Mac store, to the MacBook doctor, and we asked them, please just check that everything's okay. Run a diagnostic. Please tell me if it can be fixed and how much it's going to cost. And they said, we most certainly can, sir. We'll get back to you in the next couple of days. They did. The price tag was 34,000 Rand to repair the coffee damage. So that was that happened on Thursday. Something else happened. Can't quite remember what. Bear in mind my polygam 6-weekly sort of thing was supposed to happen on Monday and Tuesday, and that didn't. So I was feeling quite rough, but I decided to put on a brave face because I was talking about mindset and well-being, all of those things. And then Thursday comes, and suddenly we get a letter from the medical aid, because I'd had to go in on Monday to have the nerve conduction tests. And a letter came, or an email came from the medical aid to say that the request had been denied. And I cannot tell you, there was absolute panic, the feeling that you get, okay? Because polygam, if anybody of you is on polygam, it's intravenous immunoglobulin, and I think it's white blood cells taken from many different people. I still don't understand the mechanism of how it actually works. They pump it in, and I guess your immune system gets all confused because there's lots of other bits of immune systems, and maybe it tries to fight that off and it forgets about the CIDP and the myasthenia gravis. I don't know. Anyway, that's witchcraft to me. But I went into a flat spin. Immediately I was thinking, okay, so now what? What do we do? Because now the stuff that's supposed to be helping me, which the doctor has now, that was the other thing. She motivated. That's what made me upset as well. The nerve conduction test came back as worse. So instead of it stopping or going into remission after a year, it's getting worse, okay? And I'm filled with cramps and all sorts of other things. Forgot to put my phone on silent. How many years in radio have you been, David? Yeah, it's done now. And I then immediately went to bed, because I was feeling crap anyway, and decided I was going to have a small, not a small, but a big pity party. Big pity party, because life sucked. I don't know what to do. I can't take cortisone, which is the other treatment. because I have a hip problem. I sound like an absolute wreck, don't I? Anyway, Helena, who, if you don't know by now, is my angel, my saving grace, my warrior in both sense of the term. A warrior and a war. Immediately came flying downstairs to the office to talk to them, and it turns out that what they were doing, they were just being polite and letting us know that the application for the polygam that was supposed to happen on Monday had been turned down, which I thought was nice, a couple of days after turning us down, letting us know that it had been turned down. I mean, what would I have done in the interim? Anyway, so the doctor has motivated for it to be once every 4 weeks, which is perhaps a good thing. I'm hoping it's a good thing. Maybe it's not such a good thing. I don't know, and that's why I'm doing this and I'm talking about this, because I never in a million years thought I'd be in a position like this, talking about this, and I never realized that there were so many other people that are also experiencing these similar worse conditions. And when I went to go and look for a place to talk to somebody other than my poor fiance, who I think I must drive insane sometimes, because, when she asks how I'm feeling and I say it feels like I'm dying slowly, it's not always positive. Couldn't find anybody. So I thought, let's start talking about this. And more for me than any of the stuff I've done before, where I've wanted to be well known and famous and a radio presenter and have a great blog about all sorts of fantastic things. This is kind of, for me, it's a record. It's a record of my journey and where it goes, how I feel, what I'm doing. And I really want you guys to get involved with me, please. Share it, and talk about it and talk to me about it. Today's question, for example, is, the obvious thing is a Facebook group. Would that work? Would you sort of consider being a guest if you're in the medical profession, the alternative health profession? Having a chat. Let's see what happens, and even if we just have some way to support each other, and maybe the WhatsApp group is the way. Maybe there can be questions that you can ask on these videos. I can answer them. I can give you my thoughts. You can maybe give me your thoughts, because trust me, and I don't know the figures, okay, but there's a lot of autoimmune diseases. And me with my OCD and everything, I seem to be trying to make a collection of them. So as you know, at the moment, CIDP, myasthenia gravis, I've been diagnosed with that. But there's at least one other that's playing hide and seek with the doctors. So we've got a list of them. But the weird thing is, I was feeling so bad on Thursday. Here in South Africa, I watched the live election ballot counting. If you want to know something that will confuse the life out of, I believe, most people, is what on earth is going on. Because I still can't understand that. No idea, not a clue. But aside from that, it's like I said, it's Saturday morning, sitting here. The rest of the house is probably not awake yet, because normal people sleep until around 7, 8, I guess, on the weekend. I got up at 5. For some reason, I'd ripped my CPAP mask off again in the middle of the night. And normally I'm quite good about it. Normally I just take it off like an absolute gentleman in my sleep and hang it up next to the bed. This was thrown on the floor, so who knows what happened there. But the question now remains, what am I going to do today? How do I feel today? And to be honest, I've done my my little meditation thing where I just try and sort of calm the mind and do all of those things. So that's done. I want to try and do some writing, because I think journaling is also another way of me remembering what's happening in my life and all of those things. Maybe one day me or somebody could look back on it. But what else do you do when you feel like I don't know, death on toast? Okay, what do you do? What do you do to kind of get through it? I know some people have said to me, okay, just think it's just for today and tomorrow will be better. And that's easy to say, but it's not that easy to do. So, as I said, right now, feeling okay, but I'm also feeling compelled to say, okay, the reason I've told you the story is because I'm human, and I can't pretend it's all right all the time. But I also feel like I need to entertain you in some way. And I'm not sure which ways I need to entertain you in. Is there stories? There are stories. I'm sure I told you the one where I'm getting these cramps. It happened again last week, where I was emceeing a aquascaping workshop. And I went to the bathroom, and as I went to turn the lock on the bathroom door, I know I'm a bit paranoid. I like to be able to do things, without somebody walking in. And in South Africa, and as that door's locked, somebody's walking in. And to make it worse, it was like, I nearly said a bisexual toilet, but it's not that. Men and women, there's no men's stall, ladies' stall. So there's nowhere where you can go and find a urinal, and you know that that's for the guys. So as I locked it, this entire side, which side of it? This side, I think. Shoulder all the way down here into the lat area, went into an absolute muzzle. Oh, I can't brain, I've got a muscle cramp. So here I was in the bathroom, determined to get some privacy, but my arm was locked like this. And when the pain happens, there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, you can cry out, but I was in public, I refused to do that. Or you can quietly whimper in pain and see if you can't somehow work it out. Anyway, that took a while to get over. So those are the things. What else do I do that I find amusing afterwards? A lot of things, and I think humor is important. I think we've got to try and find the humor in our situations. At the moment, one of them that I always I find quite amusing to myself is in the good old days, I used to love a couple of drinks. I went through phases. There was gin and tonic, there was whiskey. Most recently, there's been frozen margaritas, but I've always loved tequila. And then when you get a bit smashed, you kind of tend to wobble a bit. I don't have to drink now. I wobble. Okay, people think I day drink all the time, that's quite interesting. Another interesting thing that happened is a mate phoned me, and I also smile about this. And I was chatting to him on the phone. They said, "You know what? You sound so much better. You sound like you're doing so well, and everything is going well." And I'm like, "How can you tell by the way I sound? Just because I'm not going, oh, my life is over. I'm in so much pain. How do you know that I'm feeling better or not?" Another thing that amazes me is that people phone me or whatever, or talk to me and go, "How are you?" And I go, "Actually, I'm quite crap, thanks." That's fantastic, man. Listen, I was doing this, that, and the next day. Have you ever figured out how many people listen to what you have to say? No, because they're too busy thinking about what they want to say. And that's not a bad thing. Well, it is a bad thing, but we're not going to get into it in this particular installment. So I've been thinking about what to do, okay, how to do it. We've talked about this, those extra streams of income and what can I do. And I've done some meditation stuff, made the fatal error of trying to learn FL Studio. Right now, I would probably call it F Off Studio, but I'm going to get there. And I want to look at this because in my mind, meditation, your body knows and it should know how to fix itself. And yet mine's confused for some reason. So how do we get ourselves to that place where we can activate our bodies innate healing. Hence the meditation for me in the morning, during the day. At night I listen to stuff, but I want to do something specific for people that are suffering chronic pain. So I've done some of that. If you'd like to get, here's my sales pitch, for a limited time only, if you'd like to get yourself a copy of that, there are 2 that I've done, and the one is just about pain and healing pain, and the other one is about cellular healing, and I've used all the fancy bits and pieces. But Adobe Audition apparently could only take me so far. And if I wanted to get all of those, beautiful etheric soundscapes, F4 Studio was the way to go. So that's just stressed me some more. But the point is, if you want it, drop me a comment, or you can send me an email. It's David@Watts, which is WATTSINVOLVED.com, and I'll happily Dropbox it, or whatever the case may be, and have a listen. Give me some feedback. Thinking of doing some more of that as a bit of a sideline. I want to try something arty, but I'm about as arty as a brick. So that's going to be something. But I think for people that are living with these kind of conditions, we need to find some outlet so that we do not get consumed by the disease or diseases or the pain all the time. Because I find myself slipping into that, where sometimes just the pain, there goes the culprit. There goes the 34,000 Rand culprit walking out. That shadow, by the way. Spiral, off I go. Something to take our minds off the pain, something to focus on. Because to me, I think I finished Netflix twice now. And, just laying in bed and you put something on the TV and stare at it. But if you ask me, what have I watched? 9 out of 10 times. Couldn't tell you. So on that rather depressing note, I'll try and find something funny in it. But I'd love to hear from you. Please like and subscribe. I do get better, okay? And I mean better in terms of, this is positive thinking, better as in wellness, but better as in presentation. Maybe one day I'll be able to look like all those other slick, fancy YouTubers that can do all of this fancy editing and have stuff pop up on the screen. And what you see with me is what you get. This is real, okay? Ain't no editing in this one, okay? Beginning, end. On that note, to each and every one of you, please, 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 I think I'm at 668 subscribers already, which is absolutely amazing. But please like and subscribe. Please share with your mates. Comment. Let's get involved. Let's talk about this stuff together. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear what you have to say. Because I think when you do this YouTube stuff, sometimes it can be fairly lonely. And I'm fortunate that I've got so many years of radio experience. So I'm used to talking to a screen or a wall. But sometimes I think it can get lonely. So get involved. Let's have a chat. Let's see what we can do. You can also check out my website, which is also www.watts, WATTS, involved, that's all one word, Watts involved, INVOLVED.com. And you can drop me a voice note there. You can leave comments. You can email. You can do all of those things. Join the mailing list. It's guaranteed to be full of stuff. Until next time, take care of yourselves and be kind. Remember, we have no idea what somebody else is going through, and our world, in my opinion, has gone mad, and we've forgotten what it is to be human. So take a little bit more care, be a little nicer, and have yourself a good one.